Craig, can we start with Danny Swanson? He's obviously someone you know really well. What's the thing about bringing him in at this stage?
Well, he's somebody I tried to get into the squad on numerous occasions, but he's been injured. I believe he fits the profile of the type of football we're trying to play. Similar type of player to Barry Bannon, and that he's creative and particularly in games where it's difficult to break teams down, then I think he will be a valuable addition to the squad. I don't expect him to start any of the matches, but it's good to finally get him in to the squad and let him train with the rest of the guys and see what it's all about.
He's come a long way from Bury Rangers.
He has, yeah, he has. I mean, he's had to fight very hard to get where he is. But this is just an introduction to the squad. He's got a little bit to go. I think if he continues in the type of form that he has shown recently, then I believe he will be, as I say, a valuable addition for us.
You've recalled Stephen McManus. Is that due to Middlesbrough's good form and his good form as well?
Well, partly. Also, Danny Wilson isn't included in the squad this time. It's nothing to do with anything other than he hasn't played competitive football. Christophe Berra sits just now with a yellow card, and I feel that if this could be a competitive game against Liechtenstein, if Christophe picks up a second yellow card, then we're in a position where Danny might have to start a match when he hasn't played competitive football at 19 years of age. So it's tough on Danny, but I'm a firm believer that he will be the Scotland international centre back for years to come. His time will come, but for this particular double header, I feel that Stephen McManus's experience could be vital for us.
Craig, the Swanson one, is that also given Chris Common's lack of games for Celtic, and obviously you left him out the last squad anyway? Is he someone who comes in and gives you that bit of creativity and width as well?
We need creative players. Within the system that we play, there has to be room for people who can open teams up. So, yeah, Chris has on numerous occasions has done a fantastic job for us, but he isn't playing. And Danny's striking form at the right time, and this isn't just about his form just now. I do feel he has the capabilities, Danny, to be a national football player.
You've obviously listed a number of strikers. There's quite good for you that you've got other guys who are knocking the goals as well, who haven't made the squad, likes of Ross McCormick and Gary O'Connor. Are they, particularly O'Connor's in a kind of interesting one because of other things? Is he? You obviously saw him on Saturday as well. He scored another couple of goals last night. Is he? Might come into your thinking?
Of course, he's right at the forefront of my thinking for this match. You're right. I saw him on Saturday. I've seen him 4 times this season. I think Gary is getting back to to the position where he's feeling fitter. He's a regular in the team. His confidence is growing gradually as he gets more and more games. The reason that Gary isn't involved in this particular squad is I feel that he has other issues to deal with just now off the field, that once he has those clear and out of his mind, then it would allow him to concentrate completely on football. I have made Gary aware that he's very much in my thoughts, and if he continues in this fine vein of form, then he will be included in the squad.
Well, we're talking about strikers. I may as well ask you the obligatory Stephen Fletcher one. He's intimated that apparently recently, because you've always said that it's up to him. He's got to make himself available. But by all accounts, he said that he would like to play. Has that moved on at all?
Well, I haven't had any communication with Stephen as yet. I've heard the same things as you, but you can't always believe what you read in the newspapers. So don't tell the guys through there that over there, these guys there, don't mention that I said that. And once we get this competition out of the way, then that's something that I'll look to pick up, and if that is the case, then I'll find out.
Craig, just on that, he was quoted saying in the paper a couple of weeks ago that he never made himself unavailable. As far as you're aware from the information you've had from your backroom staff, he definitely did.
Well, I can assure you that everything that I've said about what happened in the past is true. So, but I don't want this press conference to be about people who aren't involved in the squad. So we'll leave it at that. Nothing's changed, and if you want to ask me once this double header's out the road, then we can pick it up again.
In terms of you were talking about players getting game time, is it a bit of an issue with Phil Bardsley with him having this man?
He's Phil's not. I mean, Danny's a 19-year-old boy, Danny Wilson. That's why he hasn't got a lot of experience behind him. Phil's a very experienced player. You saw in the last double header how I brought Darren Fletcher back into the group, having not played. There are two completely different things: bringing a young player in and bringing an experienced player. And Phil's played plenty of football this season, and in some ways he's fresh and available, and will be ready to play 2 games for us.
And obviously a blow with Scott not being available either.
Yeah, massive. He's such an infectious character, and he started the season very well. Unfortunately, he's injured. We don't have him, but he's not available. So I'm sure that guys like Don Cowie possibly would look upon that as an opportunity for him. I've been more than pleased with his performances in recent times. So there are other players on that list there who are more than capable of stepping into Scott's shoes.
How do we approach these games? Is it all-out attack? Is it cautious?
Two different games, isn't there, really? I mean, Liechtenstein games, one we need to win. We will be playing an attacking team. It's important to also recognise the strength of the opposition. Everybody talks about minnows in international football. If you look at the recent results of Liechtenstein, they haven't struggled. We very recently, last year, we played them here and struggled ourselves to win the game. So, we're more than aware of their capabilities, and what we don't want to do is flood forward and play into their hands on the counter-attack. So, it's important we win the game. The team will reflect that we need to win the game. At the same time, we have to show a degree of patience.
It's very much a case of making sure we get to the Spain game with everything to play for.
Exactly.
Could be that you go into the Spain game, assuming the result goes the right way in the Czech Republic, ahead of the Czech Republic.
Yeah. Well, I understand all the complexities of how the results might go. So all we can do, as I've said in the past, is make sure that if the Czech Republic slip up at any point, that we take advantage of that. And we need to win the first game first and foremost, and then we'll worry about the second game after that.
There's a few guys that have started the season on fire. Stephen Naismith, probably one of them. Do you feel having this extra month since the last double header will be much more improved for you as well?
Yeah. I said last season, and I believe that we've got a group of players who are on the improve, if you want to put it that way, and that has happened in the start of this season with a lot of guys who are currently in great form. And Stephen's one of them. I've spoken at length about his strengths, his qualities, and how much of an important member of the group he is. So, yeah, the lads are in form. I'm more than comfortable with the group that we've got assembled for these games.
Stephen Naismith's he's been banned this week, obviously, through TV evidence. I mean, he obviously brings a lot of enthusiasm as part of his game. Is it something that has to be managed in a player, do you think? Something where maybe he's playing quite close to the edge?
No, I don't think so. Stephen Naismith, for me, isn't somebody who's got a reputation of being a particularly aggressive player. It's a football matter. These things happen in football, and he'll have to serve his ban, the same as anybody else would. But he'll be, a vital cog in our wheel in in these 2 games. So, whatever's happened with the players with regard to their clubs, and Phil Bardsley serving a suspension, Stephen serving a suspension, but they'll both be ready to play for us.
You've talked about the team spirit that's in this camp, and the fact that the players play for each other. You're probably quite glad you don't have a player like Carlos Tevez in your squad at the moment.
Yeah, well, I don't know the complexities of that situation, so I'm always wary of speaking about things that I don't know about.
Greg, you would have taken this situation, had it presented itself to you at the start of the competition, still to be in it, with 2 to go and possibly with 1 to go.
Yeah, but we know how it works. We will be doing absolutely everything in our power to qualify. Like everybody knows that, who's watched our games in this qualifying campaign can't point the finger at all at the players for their application. And I've seen them grow enormously, and the team grow enormously in the last year or so. And it bodes well for the future, and the future starts against Liechtenstein.
In talking about kind of the future, how much more of a player of confidence we have in Barry Bannon, given the way he played that night and also playing and scoring for Villa?
Yeah, trust me, I don't think confidence is Barry's problem. It's good to see him playing. You know, I've got a lot of faith in Barry Banner, and I think you know that by the fact that he's played and been involved in matches. It's good that his manager's got faith in him as well. He's making an impact in the Premiership, and the more often these guys can play week in and week out at that level, then the better it is for me and for Scotland.
Does he get to take the next penalty?
Well, it could be a fight, but he's a bit tougher than he looks, and he certainly managed to grasp the ball in his last club match and took the penalty. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, we're talking to Campbell Ogilvie yesterday. He was talking about the need not only for the strength of the Scotland team to keep being enhanced, but also the importance of a strong SPL. You've obviously talked about that yourself, but is it disconcerting when you hear this week that the Rangers owner wants to move Rangers out of Scotland?
Yeah, I mean, these are things that constantly come up in Scottish football. This isn't the place to discuss the politics of Scottish football.
But presumably as a national manager working in this country, you'd rather have more than 5 players from the SPL in a squad of 25?
The thing is that as a national team manager, I pick the best players. You know, going back 30 years, a lot of the players got picked were playing in England. You know, a lot of the players now are playing in England. The importance of my job is to pick the best players available, no matter where they're playing. As I say to you, the politics of Scottish football are not for me to discuss, particularly at this minute in time.